Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is feeling good after finishing assignment 3. Um, I am still trying to kick this lung crud. Um, but other than that, I hope everybody had a great week and is enjoying some of the snow here in Minnesota that's finally showing up a couple months late. This is week 7 remarks, and this will be the last week of remarks for this semester. Our focus for week 7 is reframing how we think about students. How can we encourage other adults in our education spaces to make this internal shift? And then regulation. Changed, not damaged. That's from Sowers and Hall. Supporting ourselves to support our students. Go back to our own mantras. And remember that if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be in a space to take care of others. Um, modeling regulation for and with our students. Our learning objectives are to explain how forever changed, not forever damaged, is an appropriate mantra for educators designing learning environments and experiences for children who have experienced trauma. Articulate a perspective of how classroom teachers might best teach resilience to themselves and to their learners. And explain a view that suggests that behind every challenging behavior is an unsolved problem or a lagging skill, or in some cases, both, and how to enact such a perspective as a classroom teacher. Your activities are to watch this video, read Sowers and Hall parts 4 and 5, read the article Kids Do Well If They Can. I will note that that is one that I see referenced a lot in later courses, so that is a very good article. And then complete the discussion board learning activities. And I will add, start your final assignment because your final assignment is due Monday the 24th. And that is one that I cannot give an extension on. So for discussion board number 1, considering the Ross Green article, Kids Do Well If They Can, when you were in school, what language was used to describe atypical students? And how did teachers manage such students? As trauma-informed teacher, describe the connection between language we use and actions we take. What role does language play for you in your trauma-informed practices? And for discussion board 2, examine the role of vulnerability in a trauma-informed classroom. How might a teacher effectively model vulnerability? How should a teacher teach the value of vulnerability and foster this value in the classroom community? Analyze the connection between vulnerability and resilience. As you can notice on both of these, there are several questions, so please do some bullet points or something to show clearly which question you're responding to in your responses. You have to respond to all of them, but it'll be helpful to maybe include the question before your answer for each of them. And a reminder to respond to 2 peers. These are due this Saturday. I cannot give any more extensions past that as I have to do a turnaround for grading. So if they are not turned in on time this week, they will lose points. And lastly, your assignment 4 is a presentation to the school board. You're going to synthesize everything you've learned in this class and previous classes about building a trauma-informed classroom. Provide a substantive and persuasive presentation to a school board advocating for trauma-informed approaches in the classroom. Please note that if your current school is doing a lot of trauma-informed stuff, you can pretend they're not. That's fine. It's to a school board, not your school board. So here's the situation. A parent advocacy group has recently been attending school board meetings and loudly protesting the high suspension expulsion data in your district. School board has directed the school administration to identify possible alternative approaches to suspensions and expulsions. Your principal knows that you embrace trauma-informed teaching practices and arranges for you to prepare a presentation to the school board describing a trauma-informed group. So in doing that, you should have a slideshow between 15 and 18 slides. This can be in any medium. It doesn't have to just be in PowerPoint. Your voiceover narration should not exceed 10 minutes. You are given 10 minutes at this school board meeting and they will cut you off after. 5+ peer-reviewed sources to support arguments. Make sure you have references on the last slide and APA citations throughout. You do not need to read your reference page or your title page. Just make sure they're there as though you gave your slides to people attending the school board meeting and the school board ahead of time and just had everything in order so they could look at it. You don't need to read those sections. But it should include a background on trauma, pervasiveness and impact of childhood trauma, and specifically in education. Discuss the role and importance of educator mindset, agency, and self-awareness in supporting trauma-impacted students. An analysis of the current practices, which remember are suspension and expulsion. So this is a school that very much holds true to kind of the traditional, if a kid is misbehaving, we kick them out type of model, and how they do not align with trauma-informed principles. Description of effective trauma-informed classroom practices that address academic, social, and cultural practices, and suggestions for concrete steps the school board can take in supporting current and emerging trauma-informed educational spaces. Thank you guys for everything you've done. I'm going to try to be fully caught up on grading by the middle of this week, so I'm going to try to do a lot of that today. I'm mostly there. If you need anything, get in touch. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing all of your presentations to the school boards.